Melakim 1, 1 Kings chapter 4. And it came to be that sovereign Shelomoh was sovereign over all Yisrael, and these were his chief officials: Azaryahu son of Zadok the Kohen, Elichoreph and Achiah sons of Shisha, scribes, Jehoshaphat son of Achilud the recorder, and Benayahu son of Jehoiada over the army, and Zadok and Abiathar the Kohanim, and Azaryahu son of Nathan over the officers, Zevud son of Nathan a Kohen, friend of the sovereign, and Achishar over the household, and Adoniram son of Avda over the compulsory labor. And Shelomoh had 12 governors over all Yisrael, who provided food for the sovereign and his household. Each one made provision for 1 month of the year, and these were their names: Ben-Hur in the mountains of Ephraim, Ben-Dekur in Makaz and Shealbim, and Beth-Shemesh and Elon Beth-Hanan, Ben-Chesed in Aruboth, Soko, and all the land of Hephir were his. Ben-Avinadab, all the height of Dor. Tephath, the daughter of Shelomoh, became his wife. Baanah, son of Achilud, in Teanak, and Megiddo, and all Beth Shean, which is beside Zarethan, below Yisrael, from Beth Shean to Avel Mecholah, as far as the other side of Yokneam. Ben-Geber in Ramoth Gilead, the towns of Yair, son of Menashe in Gilead, were his. The portion of Argov in Bashan, 60 large cities with walls and bronze gate bars, were his. Achinadav, son of Iddo in Mechanaim, Ahimaaz in Naphtali, he also took Basemeth, the daughter of Shelomoh, as wife. Baanah, son of Hushai, in Asher and in Eloth, Jehoshaphat, son of Paruah, in Yissaschar, Shimei, son of Elah, in Benjamin, Geber, son of Uri, in the land of Gilead, in the land of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and of Og, sovereign of Bashan, and 1 governor was in the land. Yehudah and Yisrael were as numerous as the sand by the sea, eating and drinking and rejoicing. And Shelomoh was ruling over all reigns, from the river to the land of the Palestites, as far as the border of Mitzrayim. They did task work and served Shelomoh all the days of his life. And Shelomoh's food supply for 1 day was 30 cores of fine flour and 60 cores of meal, 10 fatted cattle and 20 cattle from the pastures, and 100 sheep, besides deer and gazelles and roebucks and fatted fowl. For he was ruling over all this side of the river, from Tifzah even to Azah, over all the sovereigns on this side of the river. And he had peace on all sides round about him. And Yehudah and Yisrael dwelt safely, each man under his vine and his fig tree, from Dan as far as Beersheba, all the days of Shelomoh. And Shelomoh had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots, and 12,000 horsemen. And these governors, each one in his month, provided food for sovereign Shelomoh and for all who came to the table of sovereign Shelomoh. There was no lack in their supply. They also brought barley and straw to the appointed place for the horses and steeds, each one according to his right ruling. And Elohim gave Shelomoh exceeding great wisdom and understanding and largeness of heart, like the sand on the seashore. And Shelomoh's wisdom excelled in the wisdom of all the men of the east and of all the wisdom of Mitzrayim, for he was wiser than all men, than Earthen the Asarite, and Heman, and Kolkol, and Darda, the sons of Mehol. And his name was in all the nations round about. And he spoke 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. And he spoke of trees, from the cedar tree of Lebanon even to the hyssop that springs out of the wall. And he spoke of beasts, and of birds, and of creeping creatures, and of fish. And there came from all peoples, from all the sovereigns of the earth who had heard of his wisdom, to hear the wisdom of Shelomoh. Melakim 1, 1 Kings chapter 5. And Hiram, sovereign of Zor, sent his servants to Shelomoh, because he heard that they had anointed him sovereign in place of his father. For Hiram had always loved David. And Shelomoh sent to Hiram, saying, You know my father David was unable to build a house for the name of Yahuah his Elohim because of the battles which were all around him, until Yahuah put them under the soles of his feet. But now Yahuah my Elohim has given me rest all around. There is neither adversary nor evil incident. And see, I intend to build a house for the name of Yahuah my Elohim, as Yahuah spoke to my father David, saying, Your son, whom I put on your throne in your place, he builds the house for my name. And now command that they cut down cedars for me from Lebanon, and let my servants be with your servants, and let me pay you wages for your servants according to whatever you say. For you know there is none among us who knows to cut timber like the Sidonians. And it came to be when Hiram heard the words of Shelomoh that he rejoiced greatly and said, Baruch be Yahuah this day, for he has given David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Shelomoh, saying, I have heard that which you sent me. Let me do all you desire concerning the cedar and cypress logs. Let my servants bring them down from Lebanon to the sea. Then I put them in rafts by sea to the place you direct me, and I shall spread them out there. Then you take them up while you do my desire by giving food for my household. And Hiram gave Shelomoh cedar and cypress logs, all his desire. And Shelomoh gave Hiram 20,000 cores of wheat as food for his household, and 20 cores of pressed oil. Thus Shelomoh gave to Hiram year by year. And Yahuah gave Shelomoh wisdom as he promised him. And there was peace between Hiram and Shelomoh, and the two of them made a covenant. And sovereign Shelomoh raised up compulsory labor out of all Yisrael, and the compulsory labor was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. They were 1 month in Lebanon, 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the compulsory labor. And Shelomoh had 70,000 bearing burdens and 80,000 hewing in the mountains, besides 3,300 from the chiefs of Shelomoh's deputies, who were over the work, those ruling over the people who labored in the work. And the sovereign commanded, and they brought large stones, precious stones, to lay the foundation of the house with hewn stones. And Shelomoh's builders and Hiram's builders and the men of Giv'al hewed and prepared timber and stones to build the house.